Hi everyone, it's Megan Hall. We are finally moving from Blackboard to Brightspace. I think that Brightspace is a great LMS. It's really intuitive. It's pretty easy to use, but I know that many of you haven't seen it or accessed it before, so I thought I'd make a few short training videos just to help things out as you have some questions. Brightspace has training videos on how to do a lot of these things, and I can link those for you as well. But the thing is that their training videos don't always show the end product. So I thought it would be helpful if I kind of toggle between this, our little sandbox that SUNY set up for us, and also my access through a different institution here so that you can kind of see what things look like in the end product. I also think that it's important to kind of know what some of the differences are between Brightspace and Blackboard. So I'll be explaining some of those as we go along. So today I'm just going to talk about the profile, how to set it up, how to change your account settings, and how that looks in the end in a course for students and how it can be kind of helpful. Next time I'm going to talk about how to set up the home page inside of a course. So let's get started. Hopefully you can see my cursor. I set the video up so that it would be highlighted, but this right up here, I've already got a picture in here, but for you it should come up automatically with your initials and then your name. And I'm going to zoom in just a tad bit. There we go, so you can see it better. So there are three things in here. Your profile, your notifications, and then your account settings. We're going to look at account settings first. There's a lot of things here that are set up automatically for you, but then there are some things that you might want to change. So the first is the pronouns. You can allow people to see your pronouns or not. If you don't feel comfortable with that, you can take them off, or if you want students to be able to see that, you can check the box and then you can type some of the pronouns in here, whichever ones you end up using. I know that's something we've talked about before, and this is kind of an easy way to have those pop automatically so that you're not like typing them and retyping them all the time. The font settings are for you, not for students. So I have reading glasses that I do not wear. So I have mine set to large, but if you want to save space, you can set it to small. If you want the accommodation of having it kind of bigger, you can set it bigger. Whichever one works for you. In terms of reading content, I always check this box. Do not automatically mark items as read as the page scrolls, especially when things are popping up for students, or later on if we set up something for training for ourselves for professional development. Sometimes I scroll down just to see like what's here and how many things are here, and I don't want those being marked as read, so I have that checked off. The video settings, really, you should only check this box if you're using assistive technology. You want to optimize the videos for that tech. If you are not using that technology, this can change the look of some of the videos. They might overlap with menus and things like that. So I don't recommend doing that. But if you have the tech and you need to optimize, definitely do that. The locale and language are set automatically for you, so you don't really have to worry about that unless you're working from a different time zone, in which case you can change it. And then we have this, our last little setting here, signing in. Do you want to appear online or do you want to always appear offline? I have mine appear online when I'm logged in so that I can be there for students. They know when I'm in there, when I'm working, and they can see that I'm there for my virtual office hours. Really, that's the biggest thing. But there's a little thing here about which option you should choose, and if you're not sure, you can read through that and see which option is kind of best for you. There are a couple other settings on here in terms of discussions and also email. So for the discussions, it really, again, these are display settings for you. Do you want the original post in the reply? Do you want to always show the discussion list pane? It kind of explains to you again what that is. Do you want the list there when you view the topic or view the thread? Do you want to see the original post and when you're composing a reply. I like to check this box because in the discussions, I replied to all of the initial posts, and it's kind of sometimes more difficult to do that if, I like to see it, but I'm sorry, let me be clear. It includes the original post in your reply. I like to see it, but I don't want that actual original post in there, so I don't check the box. Sorry for the confusion there. We also have an email setting. Do you want a copy sent to your email? Now, I have this box checked so that any outgoing messages I send to students in the LMS are automatically copied to my email so that I have a record. I find that it's just a little bit more easy, at least for me. It's easier to organize messages and see who I've sent notes to and who I have not. You can also set up an email signature in the LMS itself. So that's basically it. Those are your settings. You have basic account settings, settings for how you want to see those discussion boards, and then your email settings as well. You'll notice that the email, I should note this. We're going to have another thing about how to email students and communicate with them. But having those outgoing messages, when students reply, the replies automatically come to your email. So it's not like where we had in Blackboard separate weird things where you had course messages but then also email, and sometimes people would see the email but not the course messages. It doesn't really work that way. Basically, you can email from here, but the communication will take place inside of Outlook. So just be aware of that. So going back up here, we've talked about account settings, and now we're going to talk about profile. So I've already changed my picture, but I can do a different one. Let's see. That's not too bad. I don't like it as much as me on top of a pile of books, but it's not too bad. I'm going to add that picture, and then you can fill out, again, whatever information you're comfortable with. Do you want your hometown? Do you have a homepage? My website right now is kind of like under construction, so I didn't add that there. I don't put on Facebook, Google, or Twitter, but I do include my LinkedIn account. The reason for that, in my opinion, what forums do you want to interact with people on? Is it necessary for them to have some of your social media? It's interesting that they have Google and not Instagram or TikTok or YouTube. YouTube, I probably would put that under my homepage. Actually, I'll do that right now. I know this is practice, but just kind of show you how that looks. It's a crazy URL. The reason I would put the YouTube there is that for my online classes, I have all my lectures on YouTube, and also even for the classes that are in person, I sometimes have the lectures up in case they miss class. So it's an easy way for them to find that. But the LinkedIn is more of a professional social networking site. You're making business connections, and it's really a great tool for students to use once they become alumni. And they can connect to me now, and then later on, if they need a recommendation or what have you, my professional information is there. Contact information, again, I know some of you give out your mobile phone, some don't. I have my office phone connected so that it forwards to my cell phone. So I don't remember my number right now, but I would probably have that in there as my business phone, and I'd probably leave the rest blank. You can fill out your education and work info if you want. You can add a tagline if you want people to know when your birthday is. There's no year here, you'll notice, just the month and day. So that's kind of nice. Interests and hobbies, I usually do put something here just for students to basically get to know me a little bit better. So I'm just going to copy and paste from my other profile. There we go. Yeah, especially in an online asynchronous class, it can help to have just a little bit about yourself to try to make that personal connection. I would probably add a few of my favorite books. I doubt I put this is my podcast, and would I put that in real life? Probably not. Most memorable learning experience, I just wrote a sentence here, but I might kind of consider that in a real class. And anyway, once you're done, you can save and close. Again, fill out whatever you're comfortable with, add a photo, and then you can take a look to see what it would be, how it would look from a student's perspective. If you ever want to click that option up here, it shows you basically what this homepage looks like, and then what your courses look like from the perspective of a student. But basically, I'm going to come over to one of my classes now. These are all the classes that I have and some that I'm enrolled in. But here's one of mine as an instructor. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. And this homepage is set up with what are called widgets. We're going to talk about how to set this up in the next video. But I have my instructor widget here, and it just shows my photo, my name, and my email address, so they can email me right here from the homepage on this course. And then if they go in to look for their instructors elsewhere, they can see the rest of that profile information. So whatever you've put in, when they go to look up their instructors, that's what they'll see. So it can be kind of helpful for students, but I would be careful again with how much information you want to give out. Do you want your phone number? Do you want your hometown? Those kind of things. It really is up to you, but yeah, it's up to you, whatever you want to put in that profile. The last thing, so we talked about account settings, then we talked about profile. Now we're going to look at notifications. There is an app it's called the Pulse app, and it helps you stay connected with Brightspace. Send email notifications. You can change that setting if you want. You can also register your mobile number so that the notifications come through text. Then you can get a summary of an activity for your courses, daily or weekly or never. It really kind of depends on whether you want those updates. This, I think, is a more helpful tool for students because we have so many classes and so many students that if we had these notifications, it might be overwhelming. But I will also say that as somebody who's enrolled in professional development classes, which also is a really nice use of Brightspace. Here we've got all faculty community. I took an APA refresher. This was a DEI class that I took. I did enroll in some of these for those purposes, so I could see were my assignments feedback updated, is there a new announcement, all of that. So even if you decide not to get notifications for your classes, let students know that this is an option. It really is a bit more robust than the Blackboard app was. Now, you can't do everything in there, but especially for, when they get their assignment feedback, when they get their grade, if there are, here we go, grade items released, and if there are new comments on a discussion post that they posted, or if there's announcements, that kind of thing. And you can choose, do I want it text or do I want it email, depending on what you've set up. So you can also exclude courses. So if there's maybe a course that has finished that you're somehow still getting notifications for, you can exclude it there as well. So basically, those are all of the functions of that top little button with your initials and then later your profile. You can set your profile with a picture and then information about yourself. You can change notifications to come to the app or to come to your email or the your text. You can have your account settings set up, things like your pronouns and your general video and and font sizes and all of that. And you can also click to view as a student if you want to kind of check your class to make sure that the students are seeing what you want them to see. So that is it. We're going to come back to our home page here with all of our classes on it. And next time I'll show you within a course how to set up a home page and some of the different features there. So that's it. I hope this helped.